My wife told her family I had anger issues to cover for her cheating, and I only found out after her brother tried to fight me at a BBQ. I, 33 million, have been married to my wife, 27 million, for almost 3 years. We were together for about 6 before that. Honestly, I thought we were good, like not fairy tale perfect or anything, but solid. We had our arguments like everyone else, but nothing crazy, nothing violent, nothing toxic, just normal married people shit. Anyway, her family does this big BBQ thing every summer. Her parents' house, backyard full of folding chairs, kids tearing around, some busted ass Bluetooth speaker blasting country music, all that. Nothing fancy, just burgers, beers, hanging out. I show up a little late because I had to work that morning, but I roll up like always, carrying a case of beer and a big-ass pasta salad her mom likes. Walk in, start saying hey to everybody, and instantly I can feel something's off. You know when you walk into a room and you can just tell? Yeah, that. Her brother wouldn't even look at me. Usually he's the first one handing me a beer and talking shit about sports, but this time he just stared through me like I wasn't there. A couple of her cousins were giving me the cold shoulder too. I figured maybe they were just drunk or having some family drama I didn't know about, so I didn't think much of it at first. Tried to shrug it off, grabbed a plate, started eating. Then halfway through the BBQ, when everyone's standing around the patio bullshitting, her brother just walks up and shoves me. Hard. Catches me off guard, almost knocks the plate out of my hand. Then he's right in my face, shouting about how he's sick of me hurting his sister, and he isn't scared to deal with me. I'm standing there like, what the actual fuck is happening right now? Everyone's staring. Some people are trying to pull him back. Her dad's grabbing him, her uncle's stepping between us. And me? I'm just standing there with my hands up because I'm not about to swing on my wife's brother at her parents' goddamn BBQ. I'm not an idiot. One wrong move and I'm the bad guy, even if I didn't start it. Whole thing turns into a huge scene. Kids crying, her mom's yelling. I just said screw it, dropped my plate on the table and left. Got in my truck and drove off because what the hell else was I supposed to do? Stick around and wait for round 2. So I'm sitting at my brother's house that night, still trying to figure out what the fuck just happened, and I start blowing up my wife's phone. She's ignoring me for hours. Finally, around midnight, she picks up crying, sniffling, doing the whole "I'm sorry" act. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why is your whole family acting like I did something? That's when she drops it. She cheated 3 months ago. Says it only happened once. Some mistake she didn't know how to tell me about. And when her family started noticing, she was acting weird, like being distant with me, spending nights at her friend's house. Shit like that, she panicked. She didn't want to admit she royally screwed up, so she told them she was scared of me, that I had anger issues, and she didn't know how to leave. I swear to God, when she said that, I didn't even feel angry at first. I just felt nothing for her, like my brain couldn't even catch up to how fucked that was. She didn't just cheat, she didn't just lie. She let her entire family think I was some abusive asshole who scared her into staying. I was driving myself insane, wondering why her brother hated me, why her cousins were acting cold, why her mom barely looked at me. Meanwhile, she was sitting there letting me play the bad guy because it was easier than admitting she cheated behind my back. And for what? To save face? To avoid some awkward conversations? Like my reputation and my relationship with her whole family was just disposable to her as long as she didn't have to look bad. I packed a bag right then, didn't even argue with her, just hung up the phone, threw some clothes into a duffel, and crashed at my brother's place. I didn't even want to see her face, didn't want to hear the excuses or the crocodile tears. Since then, she's been texting me non-stop. Paragraphs, apologies, begging to talk it out, saying she didn't mean for it to get that bad, promising she'll fix everything if I just come home. Nah, you don't fix this shit. You don't get to make me look like some violent psycho and then cry about consequences. I've been sitting here thinking about everything about how I trusted her, how I defended her when people said she was flaky or selfish, about how I bent over backwards to be a good husband, about how much time and energy and love I put into this marriage, and she tossed it all out like garbage because she couldn't keep her legs closed and didn't want to own it. Cheating was already a death sentence for us. I know that. But this? Lying to everyone and painting me as dangerous just to cover her own ass? That's a whole new level of betrayal. I'm seriously leaning toward divorce. Like 90% there already. But part of me is still just sitting here stunned that this is my actual life right now. That someone I loved and trusted this much could do this to me. Anyway, I don't really know what I'm looking for here. Advice. Support. Maybe just someone to tell me I'm not crazy for thinking this is unforgivable, because it sure as hell feels unforgivable to me. Update 1. It's been a few days since everything blew up, and I figured I'd drop an update because things somehow got even worse. So after I dipped out and started crashing at my brother's place, I went full radio silent on my wife. Didn't text her back, didn't answer calls, didn't check her social media. I needed space to breathe and figure my shit out without her manipulative bull clouding my head. Well, apparently me ignoring her didn't sit right with her, because 2 nights ago, she straight up showed up at my brother's house like a goddamn lunatic. It was around 8 p.m. I was upstairs in the spare room just scrolling on my phone trying to distract myself when I hear the doorbell go off like 5 times in a row. Not normal. Then I hear banging. Then my brother yelling for me to come downstairs. I go down and see her standing on the porch, full meltdown mode, sobbing, hands shaking, mascara everywhere, looking like she hadn't slept in days. She's yelling that she needs to talk to me, that she made a mistake and doesn't want to lose me, and all the other predictable crap you'd expect. My brother's standing there with the door barely cracked open, basically telling her to get off his property before he calls the cops. Dude was not playing games. He's been pissed on my behalf since the BBQ incident, and after hearing what she pulled, he's been more protective of me than ever. Meanwhile, she's outside losing her mind, saying she only told her family I was angry because she was scared they'd turn against her if they knew she cheated. She kept saying it like that, like I made a small mistake, you're blowing it up, I panicked, it's not like I meant to hurt you. Like, are you kidding me? Cheating for months, lying about me being abusive, letting her family corner me at a damn BBQ, that's not a small mistake. That's some nuclear betrayal. She made it sound like she forgot to pick up milk at the store or something. At one point, she even tried to shove her way inside. My brother physically blocked the door and told her straight up if she didn't leave in 30 seconds, he was calling the cops. She finally backed off, crying and mumbling to herself, and walked down the street to her car. Whole thing lasted like 20 to 30 minutes, but it felt like hours. After she left, I was shaking, not from sadness, but from pure anger. Like, how dare she show up like the victim after everything she did? Like she's owed even 5 minutes of my time after trying to destroy my life and reputation. And just when I thought the drama was done for the night, my phone started blowing up again. First, it was her mom. Long-ass text about how marriage is about forgiveness and real men don't walk away when things get hard. Then her brother, the same dude who shoved me at the BBQ, texted calling me a coward for abandoning his sister when she's clearly struggling. Even her fucking grandma chimed in, leaving me a voicemail, because of course she would, talking about how divorce is the devil's work, and young people today don't know how to work through hard times. Hard times? Bitch, she cheated and framed me for abuse. This isn't we argue over finances type of hard times. This is character assassination to save her own skin. And the kicker? She still hasn't told them the truth. She's still running around telling everybody that I'm this unstable rage monster who overreacted to her small mistake. She's spinning it like I'm the one who flipped out and abandoned her because I couldn't control my temper when she messed up once. She's acting like I smacked her or screamed at her and then left her crying on the floor, when reality is, I found out she was a lying, cheating snake and removed myself before I lost my cool. At this point, I realized something real important. There's no coming back from this. Even if somehow she had a magic apology ready, even if she threw herself at my feet, how do you come back from someone trying to destroy your character to save themselves? You don't. You move the fuck on. That night, after all the bullshit texts, I called a divorce lawyer. Not just a consultation either, a real meeting. I want this shit official. No half-assed, let's separate and think about it nonsense. I'm filing. I'm ending it. I'm not giving her another chance. I spent 6 goddamn years with this woman. Thought we were a team. Thought we had each other's backs. Instead, she was busy setting me up like some Lifetime movie villain to cover her own tracks. Well, she fucked with the wrong one. I'm not rolling over and taking it. I'm not staying quiet. I'm done protecting someone who would throw me under a bus without blinking. Divorce lawyer is hired, paperwork is getting drawn up as we speak. I'm not answering her calls. I'm not reading her texts. As far as I'm concerned, she's already my ex. And you know what? It feels good. It feels real fucking good. Update 2, man, just when I thought I had seen the worst of it, shit got even more messed up. A couple days after I posted my last update, I was still lying low at my brother's place. I hadn't responded to any of her texts. I was done giving her the satisfaction of begging for attention after everything she pulled. I was trying to figure out my next steps, mainly how I wanted to handle the divorce, when I got a random message from someone I barely knew. One of my wife's co-workers, Marcy. I hadn't even met Marcy before, maybe once in passing at some holiday party, so when she messaged me, I was suspicious as hell. Thought maybe it was some setup to make me look worse somehow. But nah, Marcy turned out to be the real MVP. She said she'd been feeling guilty as hell because she knew what was going on and figured I deserved to know the truth. Apparently, the guy my wife cheated with her coworker wasn't just some one-night slip like she tried to play it off. They had been messing around for months. She said everybody at work knew. They didn't even try to hide it after a while. Marcy said the guy, let's call him Randall, because of course his name would be something like Randall bragged about it at their last work party. Said my wife was stuck in a controlling marriage, and he was helping her find happiness again. First of all, the controlling part is pure fucking fantasy. I barely had the energy to argue with her half the time, let alone control her. I worked long hours, paid the bills, gave her space to hang with friends whenever she wanted. Only thing I ever asked for was basic respect and honesty. Apparently that was too much. Anyway, hearing that shit flipped a switch in my head, like whatever lingering sadness or confusion I had turned into straight up rage. She didn't just cheat, she built this whole victim story around it. She didn't just lie once, she lived in the lie for months, all while cuddling up next to me at night and acting like she loved me. I wasn't about to sit back and let her keep spinning her little sob story while everybody treated me like some abusive monster. So I got to work. Marcy sent me screenshots texts between her and my wife, where she talked about how excited she was about sneaking around. Shit about how she was living two lives. Also screenshots of Randall bragging about how he was winning and how easy it was because she said her husband never pays attention anyway. The second I had that in my hands, I wasn't even mad anymore. I was calm, focused, like I had a fucking mission now. I made one massive group text, added her parents, her brother, cousins, aunts, even some family friends who were at the BBQ. Anybody who looked at me sideways or called me a coward the past few days went straight into that text thread. And then I laid it out, all of it. Told them point blank, I never touched her, never yelled at her, never raised a hand, never scared her. Everything she said about me was a straight up lie to cover the fact she had been cheating for months behind my back with some random coworker. I attached screenshots, didn't just make claims, I dropped receipts, full proof, texts from her, texts from him, Marcy's whole write-up explaining the situation. I wanted there to be zero doubt. Sent it and put my phone down. Didn't even bother waiting for replies. Went and grabbed a beer from my brother's fridge, sat down and waited for the fireworks. Didn't take long. About an hour later, her brother, the same guy who shoved me and tried to throw hands at the BBQ, actually called me. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity got the better of me. First thing out of his mouth was an apology, like a real apology. Sounded like he got punched in the gut. Said he was sorry for believing her lies and for putting his hands on me. Said he felt like a fucking idiot for defending her and attacking me without knowing the full story. Then her mom texted me a long-ass paragraph about how ashamed she was in her daughter, how she couldn't believe the person her daughter had become, and how sorry she was for believing the worst about me. Word must have spread fast because her cousins started unfollowing her on Facebook. A couple of them even messaged me privately saying they were sorry for treating me like shit at the BBQ, that they had no idea what was actually going on. Meanwhile, my soon-to-be ex was getting absolutely roasted in the group chat. Her mom and brother were blowing up the thread, asking her to explain herself, asking her why she would drag my name through the mud when I hadn't even done anything wrong. The last message I saw before muting the group was her brother telling her she owed me more than an apology, that she owed me respect for not losing my shit at the BBQ when he tried to start a fight over her lies. I didn't say a word, didn't gloat, didn't dunk on her. Just sat back and watched her house of cards collapse. Petty? Maybe a little. But after getting lied about, humiliated, and physically shoved in front of my wife's whole family, nah, this wasn't petty. This was justice. And the best part? I didn't have to lift a finger after that. Her own lies came back and did all the work for me. She tried calling me after the group chat blew up, but I wasn't interested in hearing her sob story again. I blocked her number, blocked her on socials. She doesn't get to have access to me anymore. I've already got the divorce lawyer handling the paperwork. Full steam ahead. Not gonna lie, seeing her whole fake image crash and burn felt fucking amazing. After everything she put me through, watching her squirm under the weight of her own bullshit felt like the closure I didn't know I needed. Anyway, that's where we're at now. She's basically radioactive to her family. Word's getting around among her friends too. I'm hearing whispers that her perfect little life she built on lies is falling apart one piece at a time. Couldn't have happened to a more deserving person. I'll update again if anything crazier happens, but for now, I'm just enjoying the view. Update 3. At this point, it's honestly like she's playing every card except the truth. After her whole family turned on her after I dropped those screenshots and receipts and everybody started dragging her, she didn't apologize. Didn't even try to own her shit. Nah, she switched gears like a damn NASCAR driver. Next thing I know, I'm hearing through the grapevine that she's out here pushing this new story. She's telling anybody who'll still listen that I emotionally neglected her, and that's why she made bad choices. Apparently now I was cold, unavailable, and withholding affection. So she felt trapped and lonely and just had to cheat. Mind you, she wasn't saying any of this the entire 6 years we were together. Not once. No fights about it, no conversations, and I'm supposed to believe it now that she's backed into a corner? Yeah, fuck off. At first, I thought maybe a few gullible people would eat that shit up. Maybe some of her friends who only ever heard her side. But thankfully, most people didn't buy it. I started getting DMs from her cousins, old friends, even a couple people I barely knew who saw the Facebook meltdown happening in real time. Apparently, she posted some cringy healing journey type shit about recognizing your worth and escaping toxic cycles, and all this self-love nonsense, like she was some survivor, instead of just a liar who nuked her own life. One of her old friends literally commented, "Girl, you lied about abuse. Sit this one out." Absolute gold. I wish I could frame that comment. Her own aunt, who used to be super close with her, messaged me out of nowhere, straight up told me, "You deserve better, she's embarrassed all of us." Apparently, my wife tried to crash at her aunt's house after getting basically evicted from her parents' place, but the aunt told her hell no, said she needed to figure her own shit out because nobody was going to play along with her lies anymore. Meanwhile, her parents? Not much better. Her mom told her to get herself together, and said she's embarrassed to even show her face at church after everything blew up. That's rough. Her family's always been big on appearances and reputation. For them to basically ice her out? Yeah, you know you fucked up. She tried to call me again too, by the way. Couple days after everything exploded. I let it ring. Then she texted some long-ass paragraph about how we both made mistakes, and relationships are complicated, and how she still loved me deep down. Didn't even mention the cheating, didn't mention the lying, just tried to sweep the whole thing under some fake nobody's perfect blanket. I didn't reply, deleted the text, blocked her number. At that point, there was nothing left to say. You don't get to shit all over someone, set their reputation on fire, watch them drown, and then turn around like, "We both made mistakes." You made mistakes, I made sandwiches. There's a fucking difference. I made sure all this shit got included in the divorce paperwork too. My lawyer was all over it, added notes about her making false abuse claims, emotional distress, the whole 9 yards. He said it'd help if she tried to pull anything stupid like asking for spousal support or trying to come after my shit. Apparently, courts don't look kindly on people who lie about domestic violence for sympathy points. Also heard through a few mutuals that her job situation isn't looking great either. Guess where she works? They've got super strict codes of conduct about workplace relationships. Word got back to HR that she was having an affair with a coworker who, by the way, is married too, because why not add another layer of shit to the cake? And now she's under review. It's not confirmed if she's getting fired yet, but I heard she's on some kind of probation, and she's been whining online about how toxic her job is, and how she's being targeted because she's a woman. Nah, sweetie. You're getting targeted because you can't keep your legs or your lies closed. Meanwhile, I'm just keeping my head down, finalizing the divorce, working, hitting the gym again for the first time in like a year. Feels good to be getting some of my life back. Every now and then, I'll get some random third-hand update about her like she's couch surfing, or her social media friends list getting smaller every day. And yeah, It's petty, but I'm not gonna pretend it doesn't feel a little good. I didn't ask for any of this. I didn't start shit. I didn't even react when she humiliated me at her family BBQ. I just stood there while her brother shoved me, while her family looked at me like I was garbage, while she let it happen. Now she's reaping it. And honestly, it couldn't have happened to a more deserving person. Next update will probably be the last. Divorce is almost finalized. I'll drop the last piece when it's officially done. Stay tuned. Appreciate everybody who's been riding this shit show with me. Final update. Alright, figured I'd close this out since everything's finally wrapped up. The divorce finalized a couple days ago. Way quicker and cleaner than I expected, honestly. No kids, no shared mortgage, no bullshit tying me to her long term. Only real thing we had together was the apartment lease, which was in my name only, so I got to keep it without even a debate. She tried to argue for some relocation money during mediation, acting like she was being displaced or some shit, but my lawyer came down on that like a goddamn hammer. Once we laid out all the crap, she pulled the cheating, the lies about me being abusive, the fake narratives to her family. Her side basically folded without even making eye contact. She left the process looking like somebody kicked her in the teeth. No apology, no accountability, just bitter looks and passive-aggressive sighs like somehow I had wronged her. I wasn't about to stand there and entertain it either. I kept it business only. No long talks, no dramatics. The second the papers were signed, I walked out, didn't even look back. From what I've heard, she's been couch surfing ever since. First at a friend's place across town, then bouncing between different friends who are already sick of her shit. Guess it's not so easy being strong and independent when the safety nets you lit on fire stop catching you. Her family still isn't talking to her much either. Her mom especially, apparently. She's been telling anybody who'll listen at church that she's praying. Her daughter finds her way back to decency. Rough. As for work, nah, they didn't outright fire her. But karma didn't let her walk free either. She's on some kind of probation, got a fat write-up on her record, and from what a mutual friend said, she's basically radioactive around the office now. No promotions, no special projects, just clock in, clock out, keep your head down and hope nobody gives you a reason to get canned. Not exactly the girl boss fantasy she thought she was living. The final cherry on top, though, the guy she cheated with, her supposed savior, dumped her ass like a sack of garbage right after everything hit the fan. Apparently, he didn't realize her life was gonna explode the way it did. Family disowning her, reputation tanked, job in jeopardy, real messy shit. From what I heard, he ghosted her about a week after the group texts went out. Just stopped replying, blocked her on everything. Didn't even have the balls to break up face to face. One second she was posting cringe memes about starting fresh on Facebook. The next she was blasting sad breakup quotes about being abandoned and trusting the wrong people. Hilarious. You'd think after all the chaos she caused, she'd have enough shame to crawl into a hole somewhere and work on herself. Nah, she's still online playing the victim. Last week, one of my buddies sent me screenshots of her posting some sob story about learning self-love after surviving a toxic relationship. I just laughed. I don't even care anymore. Let her live in that little fantasy world where she's the wounded heroine and everybody else is the villain. Meanwhile, I'm out here living rent-free in her head without even trying. I'm not gonna lie, there were a couple nights where the whole thing still hit me sideways. 6 years together, and she torched it like it was nothing. Hard not to sit there sometimes and wonder if any of it ever meant shit to her. But honestly, every time I even start to go there, I remember, she didn't just make a mistake. She didn't just cheat. She burned my character to the ground to save her own skin. She lied to the people closest to her, let me get physically attacked over it, and kept lying even when she was caught. There's no coming back from that. No, maybe one day shit. She's dead to me now. I'm back at the apartment, cleaned the whole place out top to bottom, got rid of anything that even remotely smelled like her. New furniture, new sheets, hell, even got myself a new goddamn coffee maker. Petty maybe, but it feels like reclaiming my own space again. For the first time in a long time, it actually feels like mine. Career-wise, I'm good. Busted my ass for years to build something solid, and now that I'm not getting dragged down by her drama, it's paying off. Might even take a vacation later this year, real one. Not some fake couples getaway where I'm secretly wondering who the hell my partner's texting when she thinks I'm not looking. honestly just want to vent a bit here. The more I sit with everything, the more it just feels pathetic. Not even just what she did, but the fact that I spent so much time trying to make something work that was dead long before I even realized it. I keep thinking about all the nights I stayed up worried sick when she was working late or at her friend's house. All the times I beat myself up thinking I wasn't doing enough to make her happy. Meanwhile, she was out doing whatever she wanted without a second thought. And the crazy part is, if none of this ever blew up, she would have kept going, lied to my face every day, smiled at me across the kitchen table, let me build a life around someone who couldn't even give me basic respect. It's not just the cheating. It's the lying, the gaslighting, the absolute lack of guilt until she got caught. She didn't care about me. She cared about getting away with it. You think you know someone. You think because you shared a bed, a house, years of your life, that it means something. Turns out, all it really means is that it hurts worse when they stab you in the back. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm some perfect guy either. I had my flaws. We had fights, we had rough patches, but I never once made her feel unsafe. I never once humiliated her. I never once threw away our relationship because I got bored or needed attention. It just blows my mind how easily she gave it all up. For what? A few months of sneaking around? Some validation from someone she'll probably never even talk to again? At the end of the day, people show you who they are. Sometimes you just don't want to see it. I sure as hell didn't. I wanted to believe she was better than this. Smarter than this, loyal enough to at least be honest when things started falling apart. But she wasn't. And now I get to be the one cleaning up the mess she made while she plays victim to anyone who will listen. It is what it is. Anyway, that's it. That's the end of this particular shit show. Thanks to everyone who read along and cheered me on. It helped more than you know. Catch y'all on the other side. Life's too short for bullshit.